What is going on, guys? My name's Private Boy. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've just got a little first impressions video on this new game that I've been playing. Okay, it's not necessarily new, but it's new to me. It's just come out on Game Pass for both Xbox and PC. It's called Naraka Bladepoint. Basically, Naraka is a Japanese-themed battle royale game. It has lobbies of up to 60 people. It's, as I mentioned, on Game Pass, or you can get it from Steam if you're on PC. I think it was like $20 when I had a look at it on sale. I've played a lot of this over the last week or two. I've played it on stream a few times. I think I've got a pretty good handle on it now, so let's go through the pros and cons. Alright, there's definitely more pros to this game than there are cons. The first one that sticks out to me is definitely the graphics. The graphics are unreal. The art style suits the theme perfectly. It's not quite like anime, but it has like a Japanese sort of twist to all the animations and the art. The entire map is unbelievable. The attention to detail and a lot of the architecture in the POIs is outstanding. They've really hit the nail on the head. It nails the Japanese motif. Then in a similar point to that, we also have the cosmetics and customization. All of the skins that are epic or better are unbelievable. I've unlocked a few of them. I've gone through and looked at all of the red skins for pretty much every character. There isn't a bad red skin in the game. All of the cosmetics are attainable through loot boxes, very similar to Apex, but differently to Apex, the loot box system is so much better. It actually tells you your chances of getting a red item. It'll say like open 70 more boxes to attain a red item. Now, it doesn't mean like in 70 boxes you will definitely get it. It means within 70 boxes, which is definitely improvement on Apex's loot system because you just never know when you're going to get an heirloom. But going back to the quality of the skins, they're all unbelievable. Like, I have every single legendary skin for Pathfinder on Apex, and only 2 of them are any good, really. As I said, I've gone through every red skin on every character in the game, and they are the best skin for every character. And in addition to the unbelievable cosmetics, you can actually customize your character as well. So there's a whole bunch of ornaments, there's different grapples that you can customize, all on top of the fact that you can completely remodel your character's face, change their hairstyle, change their hair color, everything, just every single thing that you can think of to do with your character as far as cosmetics go, you can completely edit it to suit you. You can go into a lobby and there won't be any of the same character that look exactly the same as the other. Talking more about gameplay, the movement feels extremely light. A lot of games that I've played recently have had really clunky movement. They make you feel like your character is super heavy, but this game definitely doesn't do that. Every player has a grappling hook, which is a loot item that you can pick up off the ground. You can unlock cosmetics for that as well, going back to my previous point. But you can zip across any area in seconds. There's even glyphs in the game that make you be able to grapple faster. But it's not an unlimited resource like it is in Apex with Pathfinder's grapple. Combat's also pretty noob friendly, but also contains a skill gap for the better players. There's 2 different kinds of attacks that you can string together for different combos. Every weapon has a different combo as well. And there's also... You also have the ability to interrupt other people's combos in certain points. So every combo has a focus attack at the end of it, unless you cancel and just restart your combo. Those focus attacks are vulnerable to parry, which if you successfully parry someone in the middle of a focus attack, you actually take their weapon off them. I feel like this is a really good skill for new players to learn. It definitely gives them a fighting chance, because once you have taken somebody's weapon off them, it just gives you a nice little window. Most players will scramble to pick their weapon back up, so you can really put in some huge damage while they're trying to do that. Speaking of weapons, it doesn't seem like there's any real form of any meta in the game when it comes to weapons. There definitely is with characters, but not so much with weapons. Like, you can pick up pretty much any sword in the game and do decent damage with it, provided that you know how to use it. Obviously, every weapon performs differently. Different swords hit for different damage at different speeds. There's a whole sort of trove of information for you to find there as you progress through the game. I just really like that versatility. My main problem with a lot of Battle Royale games is loot spread. There being no sort of weapon that's better than the other apart from like the obvious rarity factor, which I'll get into in just a second. There's just no chance you're going to run into an issue like, take Apex, for example. You drop in, you only find a Mozambique and someone else finds an RR301. Your chances of getting out of that, unless you're a highly skilled player, are pretty low. So like Fortnite, every weapon also has a different rarity. So there's white, blue, purple, and gold, as well as like Apex, different rarities of armor. The UI is also built really, really well. It's not really designed for controller players. Me being a controller player in most games myself, I chose to move over to mouse and keyboard instead, just to make the looting a bit easier. It's a very similar looting system to PUBG, where you can loot multiple bags within a certain area. Every death bag also drops an item that heals you, which I think is really cool. It's very similar to shield swapping in Apex. It'll just heal you very slightly for both health and shield. This makes trying to get out of third-party situations a lot easier. So if you're looting and someone runs up on you, if you're on keyboard and mouse, you can loot very quickly, pick up that healing item, and you're back in the fight pretty much instantly. The map fits the game perfectly as well. I've heard some people asking for a new map. Me being a new player, I don't really see the need for that just yet, but obviously if there's people that have been playing on Steam this entire time, then it's probably worth it. But this map's designed really well. There's multiple points in the map where you can buy supplies and in some chances weapons with an in-game currency that you earn from looting and getting kills. There's also revive points where you can run and revive yourself. Think of it as like a revive station from Apex, but when you die, you essentially go into like this afterlife sort of mode, like the afterlife from Black Ops 2 in Mob of the Dead. You just sort of run around and there's points all across the map. They highlight it on your map when you go into this mode and you just essentially just go up and revive yourself. You get one of those when I think it's more than 30 people left in the lobby. And I just feel like that's a really cool feature because that way you're not relying on someone to come and revive you as soon as you go down. Biggest pro for me would definitely be just the sheer amount of content. Every character has different skill upgrades for you to go through that tie into the story of your character. So when you first start playing a character, there's a set of challenges for you to complete. You complete that, then you unlock a skill upgrade. You play through another set, you unlock an upgrade for your ult. And there's just a whole bunch of different avenues that you can go down with a character while learning the story. Not to mention the fact that their first battle pass has 130 tiers. I've pumped a whole lot of time into the game over the last 2 weeks, and I'm not even close to scratching the surface of that battle pass. And then you've also got challenges to grind for loot boxes, for level XP, for battle pass XP, and all of that sort of stuff. It's just, there's so much more content on this than there ever has been on Halo Infinite, Splitgate, and Rogue Company, which have been my main 3 games over the last year or 2. It's just so refreshing that a game that's still so early in its lifespan, it hasn't even really blown up yet, can pump out this much content. It really sort of sets the standard for all these AAA games. Okay, so now I guess we'll get into the cons. These are entirely down to my personal preference. I'm sure if I lived in another country, then these probably wouldn't even be an issue. But the first one is definitely the lack of OCE servers. Now, I understand there's probably not that big a player base out here, probably not enough players to justify an OCE server yet. But if a game as small as Rogue Company and Splitgate can have OCE servers, there's no excuse from my perspective. I'm probably just wrong, but that's how I see it. You know, playing on 100 plus ping can be a bit of a challenge when you're fighting against a good player. When you're in bot lobbies, it doesn't really matter. But when you've got to perfectly time that blocking mechanic, that parrying mechanic, all those sorts of things, it makes me not want to play because I'm dying to ping. I'm not dying to the enemy players. There are OCE nodes, I believe they called them, for the Southeast Asia servers, but you have to have X amount of OCE players to get onto any of those nodes and bring your ping down a little bit. There never seems to be enough OCE players to activate those nodes. I can't remember a single lobby that I've played where I've been under 120 ping. And yeah, it kills the game for me. And finally, I was wrong on my last point. This is definitely my biggest gripe with the game. The ranked matchmaking sucks. Not in a way that like it keeps on matching me with players above my rank, like say Rogue Company does, but it's just set out really weird and I cannot stand it. So there's 3 different kinds of lobbies. There's with ease, which is you're in a lobby with a lot of people below your MMR. There's neck and neck lobbies, which is where you're playing with other people that are around your skill level. And then there's also quite challenging lobbies. Now, playing in with these lobbies is absolutely pointless because you can go and drop a 25-30 kill win where you're wiping out half the lobby. You will get 10 to 15 points towards your rank score for that, which is next to nothing. But then to the flip side of that, I feel like the quite challenging lobbies aren't as challenging as they're supposed to be. I've gotten a lot of quite challenging lobbies where I was the only player in there. Maybe there was one other real person, but the few times that I can remember that happening, they died to bots anyway, so I didn't have to even fight them for the win. So you go and play in one of these quite challenging lobbies and you get 50 plus points for doing very, very little. So all in all, I do enjoy this game. There's those few cons that they need to fix before I could really commit to playing it full time. Just because I get so frustrated on it. I guess because it's not typically my kind of game. I will still definitely play it from time to time. I'm not in any way saying that it's a bad game. It's just, it hasn't quite hooked me in fully just yet. I definitely recommend giving it a download and trying it out for yourself if you haven't already, though. It is quite enjoyable. All of my mates have jumped on it. It's just me that seems to have these niggly little complaints because I'm extremely picky. So yeah, they're my first impressions on Naraka Bladepoint. Don't forget to hit that social link down in the description to take you to my Twitch, my TikTok, my Twitter. I'm always uploading content onto them as well. So thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.